Right, so here in this tutorial, I want to talk more about the maxi trendy Danshiki outfit. I have made 2 to 3 videos on this. I have made for the regular top Danshiki. I've made for a longer version of it, and it has been impressive from the comments I've been getting from my viewers. So in this tutorial, I want to throw more light on this Danshiki outfit and also tell you the much important areas you need to pay attention to. Now, first and foremost, some persons might prefer to have it to be a short sleeve version, while some will want it to be a three-quarter version. So, whichever they prefer, you measure their sleeve in accordance to that. So here you mark out your baseline, which is the first thing we do in all our drafting techniques. So you mark out your baseline as shown. Then after the baseline, you now mark 3 inches or 4 inches for the folding. Depends on how wide or how bold you want the folding to be. So you mark 3 inches or 4 inches, is still very much okay. Then connect the lines all through this way. Connect the lines all through this way. Then after this, the next you will do is your top length. Now the top length of this person is 38 because he doesn't want it to be too long. So 38 inch top length is what he prefers. 38 inches top length. So 38 inches top length is what he asks for. Then when you have gotten to this, I know most persons will be asking me, how many yards am I using to do this, or what is the yardage that is needed or required? Now, the best yardage you are going to use, or they have to know it, is from the person's size. But then I use 4.5 yards for regular sizes, from chest value of 45, 46, 48, 4.5 yards is ideal. Then for the top alone, 2.5 yards to 3 yards, depending on how wide as well the top is. So something within that range is ideal. So once you have marked out the length and the width, bear in mind that this folding was gotten from the customer's shoulder divided by 2 plus the value of the sleeve length of short sleeve or three-quarter. In your case, apply the sleeve length plus extra 2 inches thereabout. So after you have gotten to this point, then before you cut, you confirm the fabric left. If it is up to 38 plus extra 3 inches, which is 42, right? Which is 41. So the one left here is okay. It will be enough. So that's just one thing you need to calculate. You calculate what is left over and over the table that way. So now we have gotten to this stage. Now you have known that this folding was gotten from the shoulder, which is 21. This person has a big short 21, which is 10.5, plus extra 10 inches for your short sleeve, plus extra 2 inches, and this is the folding very much perfectly okay for me. That's how I got this folding. Bear in mind that the chest is not needed at this stage. Just the shoulder over 2 plus the sleeve length and plus 2 inches extra. So after that, let's now start marking. So here you come on this area, apply your customer's shoulder over 2, which is 21, 10. You put a mark right there, plus extra 10 inches again. This 10 now is the short sleeve version of it. If you want to have a three-quarter version, you measure the three-quarter version. Remember that this fabric is on fold. So this 10 I'm doing now is like times 2. 10 for the right, 10 for the left, that's 20. Do you get a hair? So 10 now is what I have gotten here for the one of the sleeves. The other one will serve for the other one. So 10 you mark as well. And extra 2 inches for the folding, which is okay. So this is how you get your parameter for your drafting. So after you have done this, now the next thing you will do now is to slant or come down from that 2 inches mark. I slant by 7. Now, the reason for slanting by 7 is to make sure that there is no rumples or squeeze or whatsoever on your armhole. Bear in mind that the sleeve and the shoulder is being cut together, right? So that once you cut them together, you will have your sleeve being relaxed properly without having squeezes. But if you don't slant here by 7, that's the for my own tutorial, right? Then your armhole area will have rumples. It will have squeezes. There will be much tension on the armhole point. That's the trick I use on my own danshiki, and that is what makes my danshiki to be simple, relaxed, and quite perfect. So after you have gotten to know that this is for 7 inches, please note that for children, you can use 4 or 5 or 3.5 or 5.5 or 6, depends on the size or age of the child. For you have to know that the higher the age, the higher the value you use here. But for adults, I use 7 inches for every adult. So that's for that. Then after this, the next you are going to do now is to apply the neckline measurement. So the neckline measurement, remember the neckline value we have is the neck is we are going to use the neck of 17. So I have taught us initially on this channel how to calculate our neck. So do well to search for the video and watch it to learn how the neckline is being calculated. So I will not waste our time by going through that again. So you mark the neck width and the neck depth, and then you connect this line this way, connect this line this way as well, and then connect the 7 inches slant to the neck edge. So it goes all through this way. So the slanting has been perfected. So this is where you have everything coming out nicely. Then after that, the next thing you're going to do now is to measure your armhole. Now the armhole is a bit going to be close to whatever round sleeve you have. So the round sleeve we have here is 17, which is 8.5. That's the biggest round sleeve. So but in this danshiki, we normally use extra 2 inches bigger than whatever it is. So I'm using 10.5 for his armhole or round sleeve opening, right? Then add extra 1 inch again for the closing of the danshiki outfit. So that is total of 11.5. So we can go back at 12 if you so wish. Then after you have gotten to that point, you indicate the point which it is. Then bear in mind that this line is the line of the extra 2 inches that you are having. Please note importantly that all this I'm doing is to clarify you on some questions I got on my previous video I did. So it's just for you to get more information on it. Then I now said that from that line that came down, you have to come in by 2 inches again. Now the reason for these 2 inches you are coming in is to make sure that your sleeve, the underneath arm, it did not fall longer than the outer arm. Because if you don't come in by 2 inches here, if you leave it to be straight and cut it, and after sewing, you will observe that the underneath arm will be longer, will be dropping at the underneath arm, and the high and the up will be shorter. So you'll be seeing the weaved edge easily, which is not proper. So that 2 inches you're coming in is to give it some kind of fitting or shaping. Then from there, you tip it off from there to this very point. Please note that these 2 inches you are doing here did not in any way shorten the main 2 inches that is added for the folding. Remember that once your shoulder is covered, your sleeve length is covered, anything here is excess. So this thing you're doing here is not going to affect your folding allowance. So at the end of the day, you're not meant to use the whole of this fabric from here to here. This is just your working part, your working space, which you are going to play around with and get what you're looking for. So once I've gotten this point of 2 inches coming in, you can do it to be 1.5 or 1, depending, but I do 2 so that it will be very much perfect. Then I'll say come in again by 3, right, to give the clothes a kind of a fitting. Now, in some cases as well, you can go in by more than 3. You can do 4, can do 5, depending on how your customer's chest size is. Because some persons, when they want to do danshiki, they will tell you, let it not be too big or too wide. Because some persons would like it to be so free. That's why some would like it to be a bit moderate on their body. That means it should be close to their chest measurement or their hip measurement. So for here, my customer's hip is 48, which is 12. So I think 12 plus extra 2 inches, which is not very far from the hip value. So I will use this value here, which is an extra 4.5. So by the time I stitch, it will come to maybe extra 3 inches or thereabout. So your coming in here is only your choice. Depends on how free your customer wants it to be. There's no limitations of inch you come in here. If some persons as well would like to have a danshiki that is fitted, like way fitted, which you can make here to be 6 inches in, and then you see that it's coming close to their chest value, right? So this is just whatever it is, but please note that in anything you are doing, your hip must be covered so that it doesn't get too tight on the hip region. So that's what I want to lay more emphasis on. So it's not as if that this inch you're coming here is the standard. No, it's just like a range or a minimum you can use. So you can go ahead to do 4, 5, 6, depends on your choice, but make sure that your hip value is covered in the whole division of whatever you're doing. So here I will now come into this point this way, right? And then I will take it out from here to go straight. So what I will do, for perfection's sake, I will just measure from here and transfer the value I have to the hemline. So make sure it's straight enough, and then I will go all through this way. Okay, let's just take it straight from here. So I will go all through this way. So now, in order to make it to be smoother and finer, I use my curve. That's the sense of having this set of tools which I have advised us to get. In my previous videos, I have illustrated danshiki for you guys. So I told us to try our best to procure these sewing accessories. It helps your work to move smoothly. So this is how I am trying to blend it so that it does not give you that sharp edge. So it must be smooth as possible. So this is the illustration I have just shown us. Bear in mind that this area, you're still going to sew 1 inch for closing when you are sewing, right? So and that 1 inch you are going to sew can be marked inwards this way by a disjointed line, so that you don't forget that 1 inch is going to be removed all through this way. So this 1 inch now is going to be removed from here, right? So it will be removed from here. You see that? So this is how you're going to sew the inner version, and then weave the notch the armhole region to make it relax. So once you have done this, then the next you are going to do is you curve your neckline. So this danshiki fabric here is 3 layers of fabric I am drafting. So if you have questions you want to ask, don't forget to drop it on the comment section of this video, and like, share, comment, give me a thumbs up, and invite your friends to join us on this platform where we learn fashion designing in a very simple and straight pen without using ambiguous words. So usually I like cutting out straight so that the fabric will be smooth here. I first of all cut it out straight. Once the fabric is enough, I cut it out straight in this form, and then I now carefully cut my neck depth. I cut the neck edge just like this, and then I cut all through this way. Please bear in mind that we are doing this danshiki tutorial again just to explain some silent questions which I had on my previous video I did on danshiki. It's not going to contradict the previous one. So if you have understood the previous one, go ahead and stick to it, and go ahead and use the same method out there to do your cuttings. It still gives you the same result. So this is just a case to throw in more light on the previous one I already explained. So you see that the cutting is going smoothly. So this is how you carefully cut the danshiki outfit. So I will still show you how to cut the back as well. So this is the front panel of our danshiki. So let's now fold and place for the back drafting as well. All right, so now for us to do the back panel. You have seen the front panel, how it was cut. So all you need to do is simply raise the back as well. Now the back, because of the way we are going to join this outfit, remember that the back does not have facing or whatsoever. So we are going to just join it and weave the inside seam. So usually we raise by 2.5, but because I want the back to come more in front, I will raise by 3, so that the joining will be 3/4 or will be 1 inch as well, so that it will not be less than 2. So you raise by 3. So you can see the 2.5 is still okay, but 3 is what I like doing. So you raise by 3. Now you connect the lines all the way from here. Connect the lines all the way from here. Connect it all through this way. So make sure that the line connection is going smoothly, just like this. And after you have done this now the next you do is to do the neck width, which I have taught us in my regular senator outfit, how to do the back senator neck width. So this follows the same process or pattern. The 1.5 neck depth. Then from here you mark 3 for you to know where it will drop. Then you use your perfect pattern or your curve, connect these lines together. So this is how you mark the back neckline. So once the back neckline has been marked, then you cut it out this way. Cut it out this way, and then you cut out the shoulder region as well. So you cut the shoulder region as well. So you make sure it goes all through this way. Then you are now going to cut a bit bigger or wider than the back shoulder point. Then blend it in to this point. Then after you have done that, then let me cut the whole body, then show you what next to do. So now you cut it out. The baseline, I usually drop extra 1 inch here at the baselines of my danshiki, right? And the reason I drop it is for the neck balancing, which if you have watched my previous videos, you must have seen it. So you cut out all through from here. You cut out all through from this point. So if you derive value from this video, please don't fail to give me a thumbs up. Like this video. I want this video to go viral. Like the video, very important. Like the video. That's the only way you can pay me back, by liking my videos. So watch it to the very end, share and subscribe to my channel. So after you have done that, and the next you do is to fold the back panel to come in front this way. This is how it is. It comes in front this way. And then once you have gotten to this point, then make sure that you trim any excesses coming out. So I'm lucky enough that it's balanced, like it's good enough, so no trimming. So if your own is protruding, you will trim everything. So this is how you cut the front panel and the back panel. Please bear in mind that there is no need for back facing. Even if you want to put back facing, it will be a fancy inner back facing. So I have made a video on how to sew this on my channel, so you can do well to watch the video. I'll also try to attach it on the link in the, I'll drop the link of the sewing of this outfit, of this danshiki, in the comment section of this video. So do well to go and watch the sewing process of the danshiki. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.